All right, Moses joining me on the desk now. The Lloydminster Bobcats saw their mini two-game winning streak come to a halt last night.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. And you know what? That 7-point streak, at least having a point per game, is also snapped too. And now the Cats will have to look to that fresh start this Saturday. Matt Schumont has more.
After rallying back from a 2-0 deficit, a fluke goal in the third by Spencer Fu would be enough, giving the Bonnyville Pontiacs a 3-2 victory. Head coach Gary Van Herway says this was a game that was ugly right from puck drop, and now we'll be putting this game behind them.
We know we got to work harder, whether it's these guys or the Calgary Mustangs on Saturday night. We got to get back that work ethic and doing the little things that we won with.
One part of the Bobcats game that has gotten much stronger has been the penalty kill, killing 22 of 25 man disadvantages in their last 5 games.
The guys who are on that unit work hard, and we've had success, but again, that all boils down to work ethic, and that's the difference, I think, between the PK and our PP is the PK units are working harder than the PP units right now, and that's why they're getting the results.
Just doing the right play, not always the easy play, you know. I mean, diving to get pucks out and getting in front of shots, and, you know, I mean, you saw Lucas there, bench, had a big block, and, I mean, that, you know, when you get a big block, it's almost just as good as scoring a goal, really. So
the Border City bunch will now complete a 4-game homestand with a Saturday night tilt against the Calgary Mustangs. And after playing their best hockey in their previous 3 games, they know they have to get back to what made them successful.
This time of the season, that mid part of the season and the 20 games, that's where you start to establish and you open up those gaps and set yourself up for the finish.
Played well so far with the exception of maybe tonight, and so, I mean, yeah, this game against the Mustangs on Saturday, definitely a big one, and definitely going to be looking for the 2 points.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. We're going to move on now. Every sports team has this dynamic. Several personalities that have to come together, so some of them you'd categorize as calm, serious, intense. Those just so happen to be the words that describe one player on the Lakeland Rustlers women's volleyball team. Some might call first-year setter Alex Ungar even keel.
Like, she'll come down and I'll like shake her. I'm like, yeah, come on, like, get excited. That was so good. And she'll just, I don't know, so serious.
Others say she doesn't get too emotional on the court.
She's not really a touchy person, so it's pretty much high fives and fist bumps.
It's nothing new for the Saskatoon native who's had special influences growing up.
Ever since club ball, my club coach was very good. He kept us very stable. My parents always told me, play like you've been there before.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Alex's mother was a very competitive volleyball player, capturing a silver medal with the Lakeland Rustlers in 1986. So when an opportunity came to join the Rustlers, it was an easy decision for Alex.
She's wanted me to come here for a long time. Both my parents actually have been really supportive. They know what I want to do and what is best for me, and they were the ones who said, just go.
A move that has worked out for her and the team.
I knew that she was a gamer. The biggest piece when I was recruiting her, watching her play in the high school and age class stuff, she was real competitive, and she definitely liked to get out there and run the show and be that type of player.
The same type of player that shows the same type of mentality during practice at times.
She's a little more relaxed. She's a little more cheery and stuff, but it's pretty good to play with her.
Like, she's a goof off the court, not so much on the court. She brings her serious side and she comes to play.
You have a job to do. You can't screw up or else everyone suffers. You have to go out there and win every drill.
So when you catch a Rustlers volleyball game, you'll get the chance to see a serious side of number 8, although she does admit you might see the odd smile.
You'll see some plays. The funny, yeah, some plays.
Both men and women Rustler teams head to Fort McMurray to face Keano College. The women have won 3 straight to start the year, including a sweep of Concordia last week, but head coach Austin Dyer says the team needs to limit mistakes that crept in their last match.
It's an older, more veteran team, and if they don't come to play, we're going to pay for it. And so we'll only be able to see after the weekend's done how we did, but it's something we've been addressing all week.
Meanwhile, the men are coming off a sweep of the Concordia Thunder themselves. A big part of their success was the 6 to 7 point runs that came their way. This time around, they face a stiffer test, and they'll have to be patient.
If they side out, we're going to side out right back and wait for our opportunities to get the 2 or 3 in a row. And if we can build on that, 4, 5, 6, that's good too. We got some guys on the baseline that serve pretty tough, so we can put the other team under a lot of pressure, and hopefully those runs will go our way.
I feel if we can keep that calm, state of mind and stay positive, then I think that we'll be, very happy with the outcome this weekend.
The battle for Wheatland Football League supremacy all comes down to tomorrow's game in St. Paul as the Holy Rosary Raiders take on the defending champion Lions. After failing to reach the finals a year ago, Matt Schumont tells us the Raiders will be taking full advantage of this opportunity.
Using full advantage of a bye, the Raiders were able to get a 22-12 win over the Cold Lake Royals, getting back to the Wheatland Football League finals after coming up short a year ago.
It's great to be here. The kids played well the last month or so and won 4 big games against good teams, and yeah, we're going to try and take advantage of the opportunity.
Missing out on it last year, we really wanted it this year, and we really pushed hard at the beginning of the season. Now coming to the postseason, like against Cold Lake, we did really well too, and you can tell with all the guys here, we all really want it bad. So
in their lone meeting back in September, the Lions handed the Raiders their only loss of the season by a score of 27-2. And with 5 days of practice before the championship game, the Raiders have really took the time to study film on their opponent.
It's tough because they've got great timing in their backfield, and they got a lot of motion going on. So you really have to study the film and then select, hand-pick guys on the scout team that can mirror the same sort of speed and athleticism. So
we hadn't played a team of that caliber before that game, so that game kind of woke us up and brought us back, and we realized what we had to do in order to become the best football team that we could become.
Now in that Week 4 matchup, not only was the battle on the gridiron, but the intensity grew after a mix-up with both coaches.
Hey! You talk to my kid, I'm coming over there in a bad mood, John. I swear to God. I swear to God. Talk to your own kid. Talk to your own kids, not mine.
we're not even talking about that. That's in history, and when we see those guys up there, we'll shake their hands and wish them good luck, and at the end of the game congratulate them or accept congratulations on, if depends on what happens, but we got respect for those guys. And
the battle of the top 2 teams in the league will start at 1 o'clock in St. Paul. Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
All right, moving on. Meanwhile, St. Paul Lions clinching home field after beating Holy Rosary just saw in their only meeting of the season back in September. Now, this game can go either way, but there's one thing you can expect: another physical contest. Fraser Snowden has more in this report.
Ready? After taking down the Lloydminster Barons in a 20-0 victory, the Lions know it will not be easy against Holy Rosary.
Well, just mainly just focusing on their big key players, and just trying to contain their run game and their pass game, just trying to keep it all together. Nice complete game.
They're a great team. They're a tough team. They're probably they are obviously one of the best teams in the league consistently every year. I mean, every year that I've been in high school so far, this is my 3rd, we have had to play them in the playoffs, and we're 1-1 right now with them. So I guess we'll see.
Split! Coaches have been running them hard all week. They say there are key things you need to continually improve on.
I mean, mainly at this point in the season, you're working on your timing. You're working on prepping for your opponent. We try to simulate what Rosary might throw at us and how we would react to it.
The Lions and Crusaders do battle at Regional Field this Saturday. Kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m. In St. Paul, Fraser Snowden, Newcap Sports.
And for the 3rd and final time, 1 p.m., you should watch that game. It should be a great one if you're in the St. Paul area. All right, Junior B action tonight. The Lloydminster Bandits hosting Saddle Lake in the first meeting. The Bandits won soundly by a score of 8-3. You can catch this one tonight at Civic Center beginning at 7:30. That's all the time we have in sports. We'll have more Newcap news and weather after the break.